free will is not an answer to really anything when you start breaking it down and showing the person who's in the ultimate position. So there's an analogy called a bullet bill example. Obviously, if I take a gun and I shoot somebody, I'm guilty, right? But let's imagine for a moment that I have a gun and I'm going to shoot over at the shooting range practicing my aiming. So I go and I fire a gun, but what comes out is a bullet bill, a little bullet that has free will. And instead of going into my target, he decides, you know what, I'm going to hang a left straight into someone's face. That's what the bullet with its free will decides to do. Now, question is, am I guilty and responsible, morally responsible for the result of what that bullet did, since I'm the one that pulled the trigger? Now, I've thought about it, and there's obviously two, but I think there's really three when you bring the whole open theist theological circus into this picture. But let's start with the first one. Well, it comes down to knowledge, right? Did I know that when I fired the gun that the bullet would decide to take a left turn and go into someone's face? Did I know that? If I had absolutely no clue that was going to happen, well, then I wouldn't be guilty, right? I don't think anybody would argue that I would be. That's the first example. And the second example introduces what I like to call dynamic negligence. And that's a play on their whole dynamic omniscience term. Dynamic negligence is option number 2, and that is because I'm the creator of the gun, I'm the creator of the bullet bill, I'm giving it free will. I knew that I'd be firing it, and I knew all the possibilities of what the bullet bill could do, but I don't know what it would actually do. So I choose to be negligent, and knowing all the risks, still fire that bullet bill. Would I be guilty? Now, the open theist would say no, and I would say absolutely, because of negligence. You knew the possibilities, and you did it anyway. That's option maybe 1.5. But let's stick with the main options. Let's take the three-ring circus open theism out, and let's bring in just the mainstream. You either didn't know it or you know it. If I knew that by pulling that trigger, exactly what that bullet bill would do, maybe it would hang a left into someone's face and then go through them and a right into another person's face, and I become a mass murderer as a result. I knew it was all going to happen, and I choose to pull the trigger anyways. Does it matter one bit that that bullet had free will? No, it doesn't. Not even a little bit. Because ultimately, I'm the one that pulled the trigger, knowing what would happen. So I think that's an excellent argument and example to take it back and point out you can't wave that free will magic wand because it's the bullet bill example just applied there. God pulled the trigger, so to speak. He knew would certainly use their free will to do X, Y, and Z and end up in hell. He's still in the ultimate position. Free will magic wand doesn't do anything except make you feel better about it. Doesn't answer anything for the rest of us.